But first, Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier convicted of running a years-long sex trafficking operation involving underage girls and their alleged abuse by some of America's most powerful. 7 years after Epstein's death in the New York prison, Congress is still investigating how his network operated and who may have known about his crimes. That investigation brought former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton before a Republican-led panel after over 6 hours of closed-door testimony. The 2016 Democratic presidential candidate pushed back strongly. Clinton denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and called on President Donald Trump to testify about his own connections to the disgraced financier. The testimony was briefly disrupted after a photograph of Hillary Clinton inside the deposition room was posted online, despite the hearing being conducted behind closed doors. She criticized the incident as a violation of agreed rules, saying lawmakers had insisted the session remain private. Hillary Clinton's husband, former President Bill Clinton, also features in the latest cache of documents into the Epstein investigation. The former Secretary of State said she's confident that her husband was also unaware of Epstein's crimes before his conviction.
I think it is fair to say that the vast majority of people who had contact with him before his criminal pleas in 2008 were like most people. They did not know what he was doing. And I think that that is exactly what my husband will testify to tomorrow.
Hillary Clinton sharply criticized the questioning by Republican lawmakers, saying the session often strayed beyond the scope of the Epstein investigation.
And then, as I said, toward the end, there were other questions that were totally off subject. I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was propagated on the internet, that was serving as the basis of a member's questions to me.
Well, Clinton also addressed questions about Epstein's closest associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, attending their daughter Chelsea's wedding in 2010. She said Maxwell came as someone's guest. Well, Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for helping Epstein recruit and exploit underage girls. Republicans leading the inquiry deny Clinton's charge that their probe is politically motivated. They say the goal is to understand Epstein's network of powerful associates and how he was able to operate for years. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said the investigation is ongoing and signaled that lawmakers will continue seeking testimony from other key figures connected to Epstein.
Our deposition has concluded. It's a shame that it took 7 months to get Ms. Clinton in. She answered most of our questions. The number of times that she said, "I don't know, you'll have to ask my husband," was more than a dozen.
Well, appearing in Epstein-related documents does not mean a person has committed a crime. Recently released records show both Donald Trump and Bill Clinton had past contact with Epstein, though both men have said they cut ties with him years before his 2008 conviction on sex offense charges. The Clintons had initially resisted subpoenas demanding testimony, but eventually agreed to appear after Republicans threatened to hold them in contempt of Congress. Depositions are taking place in Chappaqua, New York, the Clintons' own neighborhood, where former President Bill Clinton is scheduled to testify next.
The Narayan-Hiti Palace was lit for dinner. The royal family gathered. Laughter echoed through marble halls. But soon, it all changed. Gunshots rang out, one after another. A night that would shatter a kingdom. In hours, the royals were assassinated. Not in a war or a coup, but in a massacre inside the palace walls. Catch the full story on The Assassination, Saturday at these times.